Today for lesson 4.4, we're going to learn how to multiply mixed numbers, like 6.5, times whole numbers. Before we learn how to multiply mixed numbers by whole numbers, we need to know how to rewrite 6.5 as an improper fraction. So we've done a lot of practice with making improper fractions into mixed numbers. We need to practice a little bit converting them back the other way. So it's kind of like we're unsimplifying a mixed number. There are two ways to think about it. First, you can think about it as the whole number 6. You want to think of how many halves is there in order to get to 6. You can rewrite a whole number, 6, as a fraction by putting it over 1. And this makes sense because this means 6 divided by 1. 6 divided by 1 is 6. So this is just another way of rewriting the number 6. If I want to convert it to a fraction where the denominator is out of 2, I would set up an equivalent fraction model. So 6 times 2 is 12. That means 6 as a whole number is equal to 12 halves. The other part of our fraction was that half, so we add that back on. So 6.5 is equal to 13 halves. I can check my work by dividing 13 by 2. And if I'm right, we should get 6.5. 2 goes into 13 6 times. I get 12, subtract, I get 1. We would write this as 6.5. So that's how you can check your answer. We also talked about a trick to get you to convert a mixed number into an improper fraction. And hopefully you remember that trick. We're going to take the same mixed number, 6.5. We want to convert it to an improper fraction. So we start with the denominator. We multiply by the whole number. That gives us 12. We add on the numerator, and that gives us 13. You keep your denominator the same. So again, you start with the denominator, you multiply by the whole number, and you add the numerator. So multiply and add, kind of like in a circle. And you keep your denominator the same. So let's try one more example using this trick. Let's take the number 3 4/5. So remember, you start at the bottom, denominator, you multiply by 3, you get 15. You add on 4, that's equal to 19. You keep your denominator the same. So 3 4/5 is equal to 19/5 as an improper fraction. So let's do some examples. Let's say we want to multiply 6 times 1.5. I have a model here to show you what it would actually look like if we multiplied 6 by 1.5. So I have all these squares set up, and they're going to represent 6 groups of 1.5. So this is one group of 1.5. This is 2 groups of 1.5. Just showing you what it would look like to multiply 6 times 1.5. Okay. I have a lot of halves here, and I would count them up to find out exactly how many. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 halves. I can simplify 18 over 2 by dividing 18 by 2. I know that's a math fact, and it's equal to 9. Now let's show you the same problem, but using the trick that we solved, that we did earlier, when we converted our mixed number into an improper fraction. So if you remember, we multiply, we get 2, we add on the numerator, that gives us 3 over 2. Now my new problem is 6 times 3 halves. If you remember, we can rewrite any whole number, which is 6, over 1, multiply by 3 over 2. 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times 2 is 2. If you notice, we got the same answer as we did before. 18 divided by 2 is equal to 9. So again, you see the model, I had 6 groups of 1.5, and then I counted up how many half pieces I had. There were 18 total, I put it over 2. That's one way you could think of this problem. Another way is to multiply 6 by 1.5. We converted 1.5 to 3 halves. We rewrote 6 as 6 over 1, and then we multiplied. Let's try one more example. We're just going to multiply with the trick this time. Let's see, 2 1/3 times 5. 2 1/3 is a mixed number, so we need to rewrite this as an improper fraction. You multiply first. 3 times 2 is 6. So you add the 1, and you get 7. You keep your denominator the same. So 2 1/3 is equal to 7/3. You can also check that. 7 divided by 3. 3 goes into 7 2 times. You get 1 left over. We would rewrite that as 2 1/3. That's what we started with. I can rewrite the number 5 as a fraction by putting it over 1. This is equal to 5 divided by 1, which is 5. Then I multiply. 7 times 5 is 35. 3 times 1 is 3. Now, because we have solved the problem, it's time to simplify. We always simplify as our last step. So we take 35 over 3. That's an improper fraction, so we're going to divide 35 by 3. 3 goes into 3 once. 0, bring down to 5. 3 goes into 5 once. 3 times 1 is 3. Subtract, we get 2. So it's 11 2/3. That's equal to 35/3, which is the answer we just got. So one more time, I'll just explain this. We started out with this problem 2 1/3 times 5. In order for us to be able to multiply this, we have to convert 2 1/3 to an improper fraction. We rewrite any regular whole number as a fraction by putting it over 1. We multiply like regular, what we've been doing, we get 35 over 3. That's our answer. We just need to simplify it. We simplify by dividing because it's an improper fraction. You get 11 2/3. Good luck on your homework tonight. Remember all of the steps. I wrote them in the directions if you need help.